I want to talk about turnkey solutions here. How should you invest the money in these plans? Okay, the first thing you should look at inside your 401k plan, I'm sure Created Live's got this too, is target dated mutual funds. Target dated mutual funds do all the work for you, and they make it automatic. So you look at your age and you say, when do I want to retire? And let's say you want to retire in 20 years. There is going to be a target dated fund with that date. And that fund may say 2040. And that fund's going to have a certain amount of equity, a certain amount of stocks versus bonds. It's going to be totally diversified. Usually it's going to have at least 8, 9, 10 funds inside of it. Someone's looking at it daily. It's automatically rebalanced over time for you. You don't have to do anything. As you get older, it gets more conservative. It is a true set it and forget it investment plan. Should you go back and look at it? Definitely. But the key with these plans, I recommend you pick a year that's 5 years sooner than when you think you're going to retire, because you may get a package that requires you to retire sooner, and I'd rather see you more conservative as it gets closer to retirement. Look at the cost of these target dated funds. There's a lot of criticism about these funds. The criticism, for the most part, is wrong, okay? The bulk of these target dated funds, the costs have come down substantially. The 3 biggest fund companies out there that do this, it's Fidelity, it's Vanguard, it's T. Rowe Price. The cost is typically less than 25 basis points. It's like 1/5 the price of a typical mutual fund, all done for you. More importantly, people who invest in target dated mutual funds do better. We've already seen it now because these funds have been around for a decade. They're doing better because they didn't pick the allocation. They're not rebalancing themselves. You have a professional person doing it for you. And they're substantially better. Like often the returns are 2 or 3% better. Asset allocation funds, balanced funds, simplified ETF solutions. I want to show you my favorite diversified one-stop fund. This probably will not be, actually I'm sure it won't be in your 401k plan. But if you had a SEP IRA or an individual IRA account or you rolled over money, this is my one-stop fund solution. It is the Vanguard Star Fund. How many of you are familiar with Vanguard? Okay, because they're one of the largest financial service company to do it directly at the lowest cost. So Vanguard has their own asset allocation fund. So they built a diversified portfolio. It's been around since 1985. This is the symbol, VGSTX. Since 1985, it's averaged 9.4%. It is basically what I would call a balanced account. It's roughly 60% equity and 40% bonds. Sometimes it's 65% equity and 35% bonds. It's made up of 11 Vanguard funds. So Vanguard's got 11 of their funds in this portfolio with an entire team of people building the diversified portfolio for you, rebalancing it automatically. Those are the 11 Vanguard funds that are inside this fund. Vanguard, I don't even need to read through them all. It doesn't matter. There's $18.7 billion in this fund as of November. So you got basically a $20 billion fund that had an annualized return since they started it of over 9%. Automatically done for you, because what's the book called? Automatic Millionaire. How are we trying to do this? Automatically. What's the goal? Simple, low cost. Yes, you can do it yourself. This is what I'm talking about here. Target dated fund example I gave you, these are the 3 biggest ones. T. Rowe Price, Fidelity, and Vanguard. They make up the bulk of target dated mutual funds. And by the way, there's 700, last time I checked these numbers, there were $786 billion in target dated mutual funds. So it's the biggest growing solution inside 401k plans in America today. In Start Late, Finish Rich, I talk about the perfect pie approach, where I discuss 1/3 stocks, 1/3 guaranteed investments, and 1/3 real estate. I still get asked all the time, do I like this approach too? Yes, this is my approach for all of your money, not just your retirement account. So if your goal, like you go, David, how do I want all of my money to look? If you have all of your net worth, 1/3 in real estate, which typically ends up being to start your home and investment properties, could be REITs also, 1/3 in guaranteed investments, that's going to be bonds, CDs, treasury bills, guaranteed, and 1/3 in stocks, something's going to always work. Because again, I'm looking for singles. And then I need an asset protection plan, and that includes my life insurance and my will, which I will go through in another lesson. Here's your homework today. Are you enrolled? Go back to that 401k plan. Are you enrolled? Can you increase it? So most of you here who have these plans, you can increase it. That's what I want you to do. What's the company match? Make sure at a minimum you're maxing out the plan to get the full company match. But I want you to do more than that. The single worst advice you can ever be given, and there are people who give it to you, is only contribute to your 401k plan up to your company match. That's perfect if you want to worry about money for the rest of your life. Okay? That's bad advice. You need to put way more than the minimum. Do they offer target date mutual funds? I'm telling you, if they do, it's a great solution for you. One key thing with target date mutual funds is don't do what a lot of people do, which is people choose 2 or 3 or 4 of them. To diversify, again, that doesn't make any sense. Just choose one. Do they offer financial planning services? A lot of companies are starting to offer financial planning services. One of the largest player, actually the largest player, that is giving financial planning advice that's not from the firm is financialengines.com. You can check them out, see if the company that you work for is either offering that service. If they're not offering a service, find out if they're offering an advisor that will meet with you that represents the 401k plan, because they can sit down with you and go through the plan. Which takes me to the Automatic Millionaire Promise. So in the Automatic Millionaire, I have this little worksheet that says, I, and you insert your name, hereby promise myself that starting this week I will work at least 1 hour a day for myself because I deserve it. That hour, I deserve it. I deserve that 1 hour a day of my income. Therefore, I promise that I will start paying myself first, insert gross percentage. What did I tell you the number was? 12.5%. It's good class. Of my gross income no later than insert date. What date should you choose? How about like tomorrow? Okay? Some of you that are doing this at home, you could do this today. Okay? The key here, my goal here today is not to be entertainment and education without action. Because education without action is not going to change your life. Classes don't change your life. Books don't change your life. Action changes your life.